How can we watch Caitlyn? Can we come to the event? Can you live stream it? All of these things. And it ended up being put on.
In comparison, the WNBA appears to combust at the mere prospect of CaitlinClark being available. Fans are eager to watch her succeed, particularly since the WNBA has made a concerted effort to downplay her talent and instead highlight players like Angel Reed and A.A. Wilson, ignoring the fact that Clark has experienced harassment on the court and that the organization hasn't even acknowledged her accomplishments or hardships. These days, it seems like they're just mocking the WNBA currently. I think they're doing exactly that. CaitlinClark just agreed to a contract to switch sectors.
If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know watching this video takes some of your
full-fledged extravaganza. But ESPN did what they do best, using the grace of a lead balloon to put an end to the excitement. They offered coverage that was so dull it might put someone with insomnia to sleep, instead of seizing the opportunity and making the story as huge as it deserved. ESPN, hurry up. Rather than making sports history, you would assume Caitlyn was knitting.
And CaitlinClark playing golf was the LPGA being really happy.
ESPN treated CaitlinClark, a once-in-a-lifetime athlete who broke two sports at once, like a footnote on the back page. The ability to take a headline that should be shouted from the rooftops and deliver it as a lecture that puts you to sleep is astounding. More people attended Clark's debut in the golf world than the WNBA did this season.
Where it seems like they're just trolling the WNBA. Like, at this stage, I think they're just trolling
the LPGA was out there in the meanwhile, giving Clark a masterclass on how to avoid making a mistake. Rather than taking her to a meaningless golf event, they took her to a professional event that wasn't even intended for television. Here's the problem, though. On social media, fans almost pleaded with the LPGA for coverage. The LPGA, in contrast to certain basketball leagues, was able to change course and broadcast the event, making it a spectacle that attracted attention from all sides and garnered an incredible 34 million impressions on social media. With a number like that, 34 million, the WNBA seems to be playing with toys.
Days later, nothing but love for CaitlinClark over here. Constantly saying, like, it's always, everything is like, who doesn't love CaitlinClark? Like, all.
The LPGA's brilliance didn't stop there. In a brilliant sports marketing strategy, they paired Clark with Nelly Korda, the world's top golfer, to form an amazing partnership that mesmerized even people who couldn't distinguish between a golf club and a baseball bat.
NBA posted nothing. Zero. Posted zero about CaitlinClark golfing in this pro-am.
Since they were adept at playing their hand, it became out that the LPGA was more than just a golf organization. It was a major force in entertainment. It was more than just a golf victory. It was an amazing splash and a cultural moment.
Literally everything correct. They capitalized on the moment. They found a way to put it on television. They allowed people to be there.
Let's focus on the NBA's response, or rather, its lack thereof, which was more audible than a stadium full of irate fans. When CaitlinClark is popular on Twitter and TikTok, it's really hard to ignore her. There was total radio silence, not a single shout-out, tweet, or even a boring Instagram story. The WNBA did more than simply make a mistake. As though they were making a special effort to show that they have no idea how to promote their own potential meet star, they blasted it skyward.
Crap out of this event. And they also did something really smart by pairing her up with their currently #1 golfer in the world. And her name
The WNBA doesn't care, which is a slap in the face of fans who are out there demanding content for any recognition of Clark's greatness. The WNBA sat in the corner, twitching their thumbs, while the LPGA was out there showing off their social media prowess and making Clark the face of golf for a day. Leagues would give their souls for CaitlinClark because she is a well-known figure, a social media star, a game changer with universal appeal, and
play professional basketball because I didn't see a future in it. Now, girls can.
Let's not pretend that this is an isolated incident. The WNBA's entire marketing strategy is a tragic farce. Before they realize that they are purposefully alienating supporters, how many more times must they pass up the chance to present their stars? Clark is a marketing goldmine who might increase their viewership, breathe fresh life into their shows, and generate much-needed revenue. However, The loud and embarrassed reaction crickets from the WNBA regarding CaitlinClark's golf debut really enraged me. CaitlinClark, a basketball standout of this generation, received a contract with the LPGA that garnered media attention. It goes beyond golf alone. It's a landmark event for women's sports and a thorough manual for athlete promotion. Naturally, ESPN handled this as if it were a trivial news report. You'd think Clark was announcing her retirement to start a knitting club with how little passion they brought to the table. What is the WNBA doing in the interim? They are busy being the reserved, non-communicative company that we have become used to. How is it possible for a sports league to ignore a player like CaitlinClark, who is an elite? The kind of appeal to a wide audience that might save the league from becoming obsolete. However, did they exploit it?
No.
It's embarrassing. Not even a WHR of acknowledgement, not a tweet, and not a post.
At the LPGA Twitter account, it is filled with CaitlinClark things. Photos of her, a whole video of the fans cheering her signing things, taking photos, their players hanging out with Caitlin, and obviously they're showing their golfer.
The WNBA is acting as though Clark doesn't exist, while the LPGA is treating her like royalty, which is a slap in the face to fans and a total disservice to the league itself. Not to be overlooked are the stars of the future, who will be watching all of this. Both Juju Watkins and Paige Borse, who will shortly join the WNBA, are probably second-guessing their decisions. Would you want to participate in a league that has trouble promoting its top players? The WNBA could lose these incredible athletes before they ever put on a jersey if they keep making errors like this. With the NBA's tendency to squander every marketing opportunity, Beckers and Watkins may start looking elsewhere even if they are the future and more than just names. It's not only a bad strategy, it's practically counterproductive.
All of us who have been speaking out about this and saying, like, it doesn't seem like you guys are giving Caitlin, the kind of props that she deserves for bringing all these eyeballs and, the CaitlinClark effect that we talk about, viewership, money.
ESPN was able to rise beyond their usual mediocrity this time. ESPN treated CaitlinClark's LPGA deal article like a snooze fest, emphasizing the most uninteresting details instead of highlighting Clark's historic crossover move. This story should have hit the main page. They don't seem to be passionate enough to see a seismic shift happening right in front of them. ESPN published it in a drab news release as usual. Clark isn't just playing golf, though. History is being made by her.
In this league, you have Paige coming in, you have Juju. Do not fumble it with those girls either. Stop fumbling the moment, because you're not only fumbling it for the current players in the league, you are fumbling it for every girl who wants to play professional basketball.
ESPN should be at the forefront of advocating for women's sports and supporting athletes like CaitlinClark, especially when she's doing something so innovative. This is a sad irony. Rather, they're exacerbating the problem by replicating the NBA's failure to showcase Clark, who is becoming a cross-sport sensation and a trailblazer for female athletes. It is offensive to see the lack of zeal and the poor coverage. How could you not be thrilled about this and realize that this is the story that could alter our perception of female athletes?
Perfect opportunity for the WNBA to do, have you seen it when an NBA player or a football player goes to an NBA game or goes to wherever and they'll be in the comments or they'll just say something something cute? This was the perfect time for the WNBA to also be posting about this. And they said,
and let's not forget about the endorsements. When the great Serena Williams calls you out, you take advantage of it, but the WNBA, as usual, did nothing. Sending young athletes this message is a bad idea. If you're Juju Watkins or Paige Borse, you're undoubtedly wondering if the WNBA will support you in the future or if they'll keep ignoring your own abilities. The broader picture is very clear. Since the LPGA uses Clark's fame to enhance their entire roster and make golf seem exciting and trendy, their marketing success should have served as a warning to everyone. ESPN and the WNBA need to be embarrassed by their awful handling of this. There is more to Clark's deal than the here and now. The goal is to establish the foundation for future women's sports. However, this moment was hollow due to the WNBA's inexplicable silence and ESPN's uninterested coverage. It acts as a sobering reminder that although some companies are growing, others are stuck in the past and clinging to their limitations. Let's not pretend that this is an isolated incident. The WNBA's entire marketing strategy is a tragic farce. Before they realize that they are purposefully alienating supporters, how many more times must they pass up the chance to present their stars? Clark is a marketing goldmine who might increase their viewership, breathe fresh life into their shows, and generate much-needed revenue. However, the loud and embarrassed reaction crickets from the WNBA regarding CaitlinClark's golf debut really enraged me. CaitlinClark, a basketball standout of this generation, received a contract with the LPGA that garnered media attention. It goes beyond golf alone. It's a landmark event for women's sports and a thorough manual for athlete promotion. Naturally, ESPN handled this as if it were a trivial news report. You'd think Clark was announcing her retirement to start a knitting club with how little passion they brought to the table. What is the WNBA doing in the interim? They are busy being the reserved, non-communicative company that we have become used to. How is it possible for a sports league to ignore a player like CaitlinClark, who is an elite? The kind of appeal to a wide audience that might save the league from becoming obsolete. However, did they exploit it? No. It's embarrassing. Not even a WHR of acknowledgement, not a tweet, and not a post.
If you've made it this far and are enjoying the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications. We know